Today is daily cyber log, video log number 12. This is going to be a little bit of a balance of talking a little bit of a technical, but a little bit of a rant too, because I've had a rough day and want to give transparency. I want you to see what's going on, but let me first talk about the technical side. I actually had a chance today to study amongst all the stuff that's going on in my life and what was happening today. So what I reviewed, and I wrote some notes here so you can kind of see me looking down. So tools, it was Discovery Tools. I think it was lesson number 22 or 23 of CompTIA Security Plus. I think it was. And what we covered was protocol analyzers, like for example, Wireshark, vulnerability scanners, honeypots. If you don't know what a honeypot is, honeypot basically is a server that you kind of leave open and gets attacked, and you kind of see all the different types of attacks that happen, so you can kind of log them, see what happens, see where different applications, different websites, whatever that may be, can be vulnerable, even the server itself. So you kind of see what's vulnerable and different type of attacks that happen to that server, so you know what to protect against. Honey nets. So a honeypot is a server. A honey net is multiple servers. Port scanners. What else? Passive and active tools, banner grabbing, risk calculation. So the likelihood of a threat versus a threat, an actual threat, or versus the likelihood of a threat. Assessment types, risk, threat, and then kind of vulnerability. Assessment techniques. So baseline reporting. Make sure you set a baseline of just all your systems so you kind of see what's going on and have alerts. Code review, if you have any applications, websites, anything like that, along that line, make sure you have someone else to review it and make sure it's hardened, that there's no access points or points where people can breach your security or breach the code. Say if it's even a website. I know one thing that we deal with when it comes to my marketing company is, people leave, they have plugins or things like that, and they don't patch them properly, and what happens is those ones become access points where people can hack their sites. Determine attack surfaces. Where can you be attacked, right? Can you be attacked on your router, your switch, your server, your desktops, your email, your people? Like where's the potential attacks? Review your architecture. Make sure your architecture of your business, your systems, all that are all secure and hardened. And then review the design. So that's what I studied today. It was a little bit of a harder day to study. I felt, and this is a little bit of a rant, and for the people that are watching this that are going through developing IT security and trying to learn, you might be more interested in this, just because I want to be transparent on both sides of the fence. The technical side, right, and kind of show you it's not all rosy and sunshine, right? There's life happens. Since October, kind of the rug's been pulled out from under me. I was starting to kind of build a foundation, was working for a company I was really passionate about, and things happen. It's not, I don't blame anybody. It's just frustrating for me is that I was relying on, working with, a great company, getting out there, building my foundation, learning, educating myself, and having the finances to do it while my family member was having cancer, and just kind of like everything was happening at once. And then the rug got pulled off. I got laid off by the company. And like I said, I'm not frustrated at them. I'm just frustrated at the situation that kind of left me where now I'm trying to make ends meet very quickly while dealing with while juggling a lot of balls. And then today that came up as I was trying to study, and also what was happening was I was getting pulled in all these different directions, right? And some family members, people around me, they kind of needed my time, and it pulls a lot of energy for me because I'm trying to do the things I need to do as well, like study, practice, and then have the right mindset, and be clear, because sometimes it's hard when people are asking for your time, your advice, even getting like my family member that has cancer. There's a lot that's involved with that. I mean, healthcare, talking all to their providers, helping them with food and shopping and finances and all that. So doing all that while trying to help out, my friends and people, close to me that are asking for my time and just needing some advice or support, or just want to talk about the things that are going on in their life, and then trying to study and do my thing. It just, you kind of get burnt out very quickly. Well, I'm finding I'm getting burnt out very quickly. It's just trying to balance everything out. And it's not easy. And I mean, the one challenge I'm going through right now is, and this, you're paying for your certifications, paying for the applications, having a network or a lab that you can do that, all takes money, right? It takes money to be able to do that. And then paying for lights, food, clothes, all the expenses to do all that. So trying to do all that, right? And then thinking about, like for me, it's like, I would love to work for an amazing company that wants someone with my type of energy, right? And my soft skills and my management skills and all that, and can train me technically to kind of balance that out. I'd love to find a company like that I can work with and just kind of them be my mentors. And talking about mentors, I want to put this in now. Meetup.com for DEF CON Toronto. Dolv has been amazing. He's one of the organizers for the group, and he's been contacting me, like, I'd say almost daily, resources, things that to look for, things to study, to help me progress. And he's been amazing. So check that out. If you're in the Toronto area, meetup.com, and I'll put the link here for it. Check that out if you're in the Toronto area, because I know their focus is to help the cybersecurity and IT security people in the local area. And I know they had people from Ottawa, Quebec, I think it was, and the last capture the flag at their physical event. So, I mean, you don't have to be physically in Toronto, as far as I know, but you'll have to ask them. But I mean, if you're at least in the local area, connect with them. They have a great group. They have a private group too that they constantly dialogue and chat. So they're amazing type of people. And Dolv, man, thank you so much for all the resources. I just wanted you to know I appreciate that, and appreciate that you're being a mentor. And it just reminds me, like, this is going to be, like I said, a little bit of a rant, but it reminds me of Tim Ferriss' experiment, where he wanted to be an expert in one area, and he went in and found the best person in that area, and then found out the whole spectrum, the whole 100%. Asked him kind of what's the 80%, that's kind of things that he can learn later, and I'm going to call it fluff, but it's essential stuff, but put it on the side of the 80%. And what's the 20% of the foundation that if he learned this thing over here, it would help him grow to learn and develop into the other 80%. It would just be the foundation, so it'd be easier to grow into. And you have the essential tools to be able to actually start doing that. And what he did is, when he met with the expert, he found that was 20%. And for 5 days, he learned that 20%, became an expert, and then he was able to apply it and develop into the 80% quickly. So that was his thing. So in the new year, I want to do that when it comes to actual penetration testing and what else? Penetration testing, and then kind of getting into the certified ethical hacking and the OSCP, which is 2 certifications I want to get next year. So I want to throw that out. But yeah, it's been rough today, just trying to balance everything out and feeling like just wiped. And kind of some of my challenges are right now is, my time, trying to balance that out, being available to everyone that needs me, and keeping a cool head. Because sometimes, you're trying to think, oh, why don't they just leave me alone? I don't want to get my stuff done. But then I breathe and I say, you know what? I know, all these things that have happened from me being laid off in October from a company that I was really passionate about, and they just went a different direction, and it was just kind of frustrating for me because of the situation, just because everything was going on. So it's like, I wish I had the opportunity to keep growing, but things happen, relationships kind of break up. But it was just frustrating because my grandma having cancer, trying to build all this up, do all this all at the same time, it was just kind of I just would like to have a break, right? Not in the sense of taking a break from everything, but a break that, something good comes in that says, hey, you know what? We're going to help you, right? We're going to help you kind of take a little bit off your plate, right? And for me, what that means for me, what would be the best thing, what I'm looking for is to get in a career, get in somewhere that I get some financial revenue coming in, be able to support myself, my family, all the expenses of, life, as well as pay for training and education, just to get trained up, because I know the career in cybersecurity is a hard career. Not going to doubt it's a hard career, a lot of work, and as you can see, I mean, I'm putting it in there. I mean, I'm right now technically running, like, I would say probably 2 to 3 jobs. Like, if you think about the time it's taking me, healthcare and family, trying to do all that is a full-time job as is. And then studying, right, takes a lot of work. You guys understand that. You guys spend a lot of time if you want to really do really well. And then trying to run a business or, get a career going kind of hand in tandem, right? All 3 essential. And then don't get me wrong. I mean, some of you guys have kids and family members. I'm not negating that. I have a relationship, which I love. But again, it's just all these things, you're trying to balance out your time. So the one thing for me, like I said, what I'd want is that just, kind of angel to come into my life is like just, a company to come in and say, hey, you know what, Brandon, we like what you're doing. We're really, really interested in you. And then have them kind of take me on and take me under their wing and just help me build. So that was something that I look forward to, right? And I'm just hoping, kind of like, oh, come on, right? I know there's days where you're like, I wish I would have won the lottery. So kind of thinking that mindset just to get a breather, get a break, because it's not been easy. I'll tell you the truth, but I'm not complaining. I just know I got to keep pushing forward, right? And then it'll happen. It'll happen in time. And that's why I've mentioned, like, I think outside the box, trying to get my company going, trying to get my company that I own, trying to get that going, get clients on that side. And maybe that will be that point where some revenue comes in, I can able to breathe a little bit. Who knows? I'm just pushing forward. And I'm open to all opportunities. I'm just keep moving forward. And if you're in cybersecurity or you're trying to get into the industry, I'm being transparent right now with everything that's going on. So you kind of understand, like, the trials, the tribulations, the technical aspect, everything that I'm learning and developing through, and the journey going through it. So you don't kind of see, like, maybe one side when someone's going, oh, it's so easy, it's all roses. But no, it's not. It's a hustle. And I feel this, and this is my perspective, it'll be worth it at the end. And don't get me wrong, the hustle will even be harder later on too. I'm not saying it's just going to be, at one point and it's going to switch over and then it's all perfect. No, it's going to get a certain point where this challenge and struggle and sweat equity is going to turn into a different, journey. And then it's going to be completely different, a little bit more enjoyable, right? More assets to be able to work with, but there's still going to be a hustle to it. It's not going to be just all roses. I mean, I'm going to have to work, and I'm not naive to that. It'll be different, and I'll have a little bit more of a breathing room, I suspect. And being on that other side at points where I've worked for companies, you have a little bit more breathing room. Doesn't mean that you don't have to push it. You just don't have to stop working, or you don't work harder. It's just different. It's going to be different. And I understand that. And I'm excited about that. A lot going on. So I'm going to finish off the video. Again, just want to thank the meetup group in Toronto for everything they've done. Dulve, thank you so much for the resources, everything you've given me. Again, meetup.toronto. I'm just going to put that meetup.com and then the links here. This is for DEF CON Toronto. Check that out. They're amazing. I just want to finish off the video. Again, like I said, I want to do this every time, just as a reminder for myself. Software is hackable. Being connected is vulnerable. Try to remember that each and every day as you're going throughout your day.